Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about the camera gear I use in my videos. So in this video I'm going to talk about some of the camera gear I use and what I think of it, and because Amazon changed things and I'm not great with technology, we don't use affiliate links or any of that. We haven't done that in years. And I'm going to show you so many products in this video that links are going to probably get confusing. So the best products that I use, I'm just going to put a screenshot of what it is on the screen if you want to search it up and buy it. So let's get started. First off, this right here I bring with me on all my trips. This is how I move around files from trail cameras right into my phone where I can edit them. And this card that's not from a trail camera that I have in here, basically this is just a go-between. I will have this in the card reader. Come on back in there. This will go into one phone. I'll move files into this. Then I plug it into another phone, move the files into there, and that's how we get camera number 2 and camera number 3. That's how we move the files, because files that are in high quality, that are over 10 minutes long, it won't let you Bluetooth it over to the other device. It won't let you do stuff like that or remote transfer. So we do it with a physical wire like this most of the time, and we had to buy new power banks with the newer phones. Most of my YouTube videos have been done with phones because when I spent all the money years ago and got actual digital cameras, people didn't like it as much. So we went right back, and I was happy to do so because it makes my job a lot easier. So I've been using these power banks for a while. These come from Amazon. They work extremely well. Charges my phones about 3 times. It's good for overnight recording, especially in camping videos when I show myself sleeping in time-lapse. So it charges up with USBC, the newest thing. Most phones now use that. All my new electronics that I've been buying this year all use it. The ones that I bought before this year are kind of dated, the majority of them. So this thing here, it's really cool because it shows you on a digital display how full it is. Even my older ones do that, but I needed these because I've been for years using all these ones here, which came from Walmart. They're made by On, and they did pretty good. The only thing is these On ones don't have a safety in them, so it will allow you to charge it in weather below freezing. And if you try to charge a lithium-ion battery when it's cold, they can smoke or even explode. And I've had that happen to me twice, where they started getting extremely hot and smoking, and I had to toss them out the window and let it burn a little bit. So the ones with the W on them they were water damaged. They've been underwater, but they've still been functioning for years. They were underwater 2 years ago, but still work. These can still be used for camera lights and stuff, but the issue is the output is not enough. And because the output's not enough, they eventually, just even if they're still full, they stop charging your phone. So a newer phone draws so much power, you need something that's feeding it faster. This puts out more amps than the older ones there. You need more amps with newer phones. Those just don't work. They're not putting out power fast enough for the newer devices that use more. So if I have the phone hooked up to these, it's going to be using the power faster than it's charging, basically, is a better way of putting it. And these will actually charge the phone up while it's recording. These ones won't. Even though they put power out to it, it eventually stops because I guess it has too much of a demand on it. Something like that. For years, I've been using these. There's nothing wrong with them. I've just been using them less this year because I have that really big flashlight that we'll get to later. So these are a very good product. They charge up with USB-C and micro USB. It has an option of 2 ways of charging it. It's because micro USB was still dominant back when I was buying these. I have 4 of these. They are very bright. You see, you can turn up the brightness. Pretty bright. This will light up the whole room. It also has a way of controlling it. It has white light or it has warm light. Very good. On 100%, they last a good amount of time. And the one thing I love about these, they can run while being charged. So they can run indefinitely if you have a big power bank. Also, if the brightness is down to like single-digit percentage, like in camping videos, that's enough light for the camera to be able to work perfectly and not be blurry. So these were always a good choice. We'll still use them during camps, but I don't actively use them in caves and abandoned buildings anymore just because I have better lights now. And for culverts, we don't really use this anymore either. We used to screw in a magnetic tripod and stick these to the ceiling. The only reason we don't, because these are good for lighting up rooms of abandoned buildings and stuff. It doesn't really project far down a dark culvert. So we now use these. This is the newest version of the diving lamps. And what I like about the new version is they don't get as hot, which is a good thing because you don't have to worry about them overheating when they're out of the water in the summer. So these are very bright, super duper bright. I don't think you can tell in the video, but dimmer, dimmer, off. They also have red light, they have blue light, they have flashing lights for emergencies, and if you flicker it twice, it's like police lights. So that's really cool. This is the newer version of the diving lamp, and you unscrew the end. It has a gasket because it can go very deep, and it has USB-C, the newest thing in there, which makes it a bit easier to charge. It came with batteries. The original models of these, you had to buy the batteries separately, which was a major pain in the butt. But I'm glad that they fixed these issues and the price went down a little. The newer models seem to be a bit thinner, and the newer models don't come with the awesome handle. You have to buy that separately now. Wish they'd include it. I wouldn't mind paying a little bit extra. But with this here, I can screw in a magnetic tripod, use them for culvert pipes, and these last hours on low. On high, you'll have a good 40 minutes walking around the woods or your property with them. Good for most applications and charges up faster than the older ones. This is just bear spray. I've been carrying that around a lot lately. Into the woods. It'll work on any animals. People had questions about that. No, it'll work on anything. In fact, it sometimes will even kill the bear if you get them in the right spot. It can cause them to suffocate. It's just so strong. Bear spray is very strong. I've tried pepper spray on potato chips, and it's not that bad. Of course, it's bad in your eyes, but this stuff here, one little lick, because I saw a little on the trigger, I had to drink milk. I was burning on my tongue for an hour. This is extremely strong compared to pepper spray. And I use these chargers to charge up the batteries inside my trail cameras. It says Duracell, but I use all Energizer. Only reason is Energizer are slightly smaller than Duracell. Duracell, they're too cramped in the battery compartment, and it ends up where it can't touch the terminals because they're touching each other. So Energizer are slightly smaller, and that's why I use them in my equipment. This right here is a little go-between I use when I'm out and about. This is how I back things up. This goes into my phone, external power, and right here is how I plug in a hard drive when I'm on the road to empty out my phones and have more storage space. I just use this old phone box right here, and just to keep that safe. And anything else I need to show in here? Nope. At the moment, nope, not in there. These are lights I used to use a while back when I first started my YouTube channel. These are inadequate to anything I do these days. They charge with, I think, micro USB. You see it just goes over a phone. These things are so dim compared to the modern lights I have. I will never use these again. They're just backup flashlights, I guess, if we had a power outage for a very long time. But these are the headlamps I use. Been using these same ones for years. They charge with micro USB. They're very bright. They have a good beam. And the good thing is these are good for doing yard work, doing projects, going hiking at night, because you only have to throw a couple in your pocket because it says on the side, full, 75, 50, 25%. It tells you how much is left in them. But on high, these things have gone 3-4 hours a piece. That is awesome. I love those lights, and they're so small. This is a gigantic off-road light that I used to have on my old car. It has magnets. I'd stick it to the hood, bring it through the window, plug it into the car. That was from AliExpress. My new truck has hardwired off-road lights now, so we don't use that anymore. And let me find some more of my stuff I want to show you. All right, I had to run out to my truck and get this box of camera gear. So in here, I have some of the older dive lamps. This is what I was mentioning. See that cool handle the older models used to come with? Compared to the newer ones, a little bigger, has longer lasting batteries. These older ones had awesome handles. Yes, they can be transferred over to the new ones, but they should still come with that. I wish they still did, but they don't. See, I just put these. This is a 300-pound pull force magnet. Sticks to culvert pipes great. And that pull force means straight down. If you go like this, it doesn't have much. You can get it off pretty easily. So these ones are just about the same brightness. No complaints there. But compared to this one, it has less of the blue and red, but somehow it's brighter. Interesting. Interesting. But those ones, the longevity is really great. Used them for years. One of the colored buttons on one of them seems to be going, like it's sticky. You have to hit it really hard to get it to operate. But these ones don't have that charger. You have to physically pull them out. And I got to physically, these are the batteries that come out of it, charge them like this. And it didn't come with these chargers or the batteries. I had to go out and find them myself. These ones are real powerful. The ones that are in them now are slightly weaker batteries, because you can get different types of batteries that are longer lasting, weaker. Here's another one of these lights. And here's another one over here. Don't be cheap and try to buy them on Temu. These are the ones from Temu. I'm sure they would have worked, but guess what the issue is? Flat and flat. If it had the little bump like a regular battery, it would have worked, but how's it supposed to touch the terminal? It literally doesn't. They're useless. So what else is in here? It's another one of these lights. More magnetic tripod. That's how we work inside culvert pipes. Got another one right here. Here's the trail cameras I use. This is my favorite type of trail camera right here. Very reliable. Use them for years. You can use them for time-lapsing over a period of a whole year. If you do it over a period of a whole year, I'd recommend you have it make like a 5-second video clip every 12 hours or every 8 hours, something like that. If you have it just take a picture every day, the time-lapse isn't going to go together as smoothly as a small video clip. And something over a whole year, I've never done that, but I have done it over 6 months and got them with still 75% battery, so I'm sure it could. On the bottom, you see this right here? You could have external power. You could get this thing solar panels for trail cameras, or even a giant 12-volt battery like comes out of a car, but I'd want to get a deep cycle one. That goes on the base of the tree with a wire running up to the camera. Also has an option to put it on a tripod, which I do have in some of my woods. These are the cameras I was mentioning, Duracell. You're going to have an issue with those in most of the cameras. Some of them, there's a quality control is not the same on all of them, but the majority of these you're going to want to use Duracell rechargeable batteries in them. So here's another one by the same company. I'd say don't get this one. Only reason I would tell you not to get this one, yes, it's different color. That might be better for certain trees, but for some reason this model from the same company doesn't have a microphone. There's no reason for it. They cost the same amount, so I would recommend just don't even buy that one. See, I have a whole bunch of those ones. They work really good. And here's another one of these lights. I also have this tripod here in case we're working in a really big aluminum pipe where magnets won't work. Or a plastic pipe. Well, maybe we could find something, an imperfection or a joint in the middle of the pipe to attach that to. Yep. So that's some of my camera equipment I'd recommend. And here's some more of these chargers. It's a really old 8-man camera, but you know you definitely can't buy that anymore. It's like a 15-year-old camera. And there's some straps. Here's some tripods for trail cameras. You can screw it into a tree if you'd rather that than strapping it. Here's the straps they come with. I rarely ever use those. I usually use zip ties. And personally, I think I made a video of this a while back. All my videos, I use tripods that are like 20-something years old. I just like this model a lot, and they don't make it anymore. Here's the trail cameras I used to use around, I think, 2017, 2018. They're now out of date. I would never use them. They don't have sound. They were great cameras, but they didn't have longevity like the ones I've been using. I haven't had a single one of the ones I just recommended break yet. These ones all lasted about 6 months before failure. This one still works. My very first trail camera, I think from 2015. They don't make the same one anymore. It's out of date. They still have the same company. This was like a $20 trail camera back then from Walmart. It worked, except it would overexpose very easily if things were close to it. but it worked. A $20 trail camera, and it was very functional. Maybe we'll use that again someday just as a novelty way in the future. There's no real reason I never used this. I just, for some reason, didn't like the metal one. And yeah, actually, there is a reason I never used this. So, with the newer dive lamps, I'm pretty sure I could get some tripod screws. You see in the top here? I could put a screw through here, from the bottom maybe, all the way up into the dive lamp. You see how that would hold it on top? That actually might be a great idea that I just thought of at this moment. If I got some tripod screws from the bottom going up into those diving lamps, this might actually be our new thing. But for a while, I've been using these plastic ones, and the only reason is, look at this. Look where the accessory clamps are. Here and here. Not in the middle at all. Why not? It's so uneven. You can't walk around like that nicely. Like if you're using these, right here, this kind of light, you want to be able to put it in the center like you can with these. And you're definitely not going to fit two of them. They're too big. And right over here in my old food studio, we don't use these anymore. I was using them at first, and then I realized it doesn't make a difference at all. I'm probably going to remove them from the room soon. These have been sitting in here for about 2 years. I got these lights. They're like vlogger lights, I guess they call them. And you could put a camera in the middle. But these things were very cheap on Walmart's discount shelf, 75% off. They function all right, but they're a pain in the butt. I've probably tripped over these things more times than I've actually used them, so what I think I'll do is, up here, you see how that unscrews? I'll probably take the light off them, use these as tripods for something better than this light, or put a trail camera on it in the woods and throw a couple rocks on the legs. Because they were really cheap. Just for the tripod itself, it would be worth it. I don't use them because I have over here, there's a light switch. These big lights up here, which I bought, ones that are specifically for stages on the sides. They get really hot and they do a really good job. So I think the next time I film in here, these things will be gone. And we're at least gonna fold them up and throw them somewhere for now. They don't really contribute. They're not very bright. Now, over the years, I've bought lots and lots of chargers. The ones by Samsung are usually the best. You notice this one looks like a Samsung one, but it's a bootleg. Doesn't say anything. In fact, you see how it's a little deformed? It overheated while charging a phone. And that, I thought I actually threw these away. That's going to go in the trash. That just teaches you don't buy fake things. Also these. I bought these a while back on, I don't know if they're homemade or what, but I bought these on eBay. They put out such little amperage to a modern phone. It's not worth it. It's going to take half the day to even get it charged. So those are being used for these lights, and no, that's not why they were so dim. Other chargers wouldn't do it either, but that's also. The point of this story is just get name brand stuff. Get good stuff if you want it to last and not possibly start a fire. All right, everyone, we are up into my kitchen, and I'm going to show you my biggest lights that I love bringing in abandoned buildings now. So, this light right here I personally nicknamed the MoonBeam. It's a really good flashlight, and what's good about this is, so first off, this is an expensive flashlight. It's $300. On low settings, just to navigate through the woods, it'll last you many, many hours. But what's cool about it is it has a beam. So you turn it on. This is just as bright as the diving lamps. Those diving lamps downstairs, by the way, are about $60 or so. They're very cheap compared to these ones. So this one here, okay, it's on. Brighter, bright, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just as bright as the diving lamps. They're very bright in person, but if you hold it, it makes this beam. It probably doesn't look like much right here in the kitchen, but this beam will light up thousands of feet away, literally thousands of feet. It's not one of those ones with the zoom feature you buy at Walmart. It's not one of those $20 ones made by Bell and Howell, which doesn't make good flashlights at all in my opinion, but this thing will shine across. It'll shine a mile down the damn road if you go out there and you have a road that straight. And it comes with this awesome holster for your belt. Or you could just put it through a belt loop if you don't wear a belt. Not that heavy, completely metal, gets really warm. And that's kind of a nice thing, especially when it's chilly out. I love holding these really hot flashlights. This one does not have a cooling fan. It doesn't make loud noises. Does it? Does this one have a cooling fan? No, this one does not. But it even has the warning, it gets hot. That's why it's made out of metal. It's really cool, and even has a little countdown timer telling you how long. But with any very powerful flashlight, they don't last very long on high settings. This would only last maybe 20 minutes on high. But the cool thing is it doesn't strand you. It just gets dimmer and dimmer as time goes on. So that's what's cool about that. I am not sponsored. I'm not being paid to say these. These are just honest reviews on flashlights. Now, I just got this one in the mail today, and I have never actually used it. This is actually the brightest flashlight in the whole world. 200,000 lumens. It is just insane. How big is this one? Really, only 3,000 lumens? I would have expected that to be more. That seems a lot brighter than it says. Definitely does. But this one's 200,000 lumens. I can't wait to see how it works. The reviews were awesome, but also the reviews on Amazon for it were kind of unfair in my opinion. First off, it came in this nice carrying case, very nice. Look, it even has these fake gold metal latches. See, a very nice place to put it. Although the box is bulky, this is just going to get thrown in my box with all my other camera gear. This other one, the glass on it is tempered. It's never got broken or anything. This one's held up good, although right here, it was this latch. I broke it, so I just had to put this on it. No big deal. These lights get so hot that this one will make paper smoke in front of it. They're made by the same company. This one is 100,000. This is their older model. And now they make this giant one, 200,000 lumens. There's a couple things I'm noticing off the bat that I'm going to talk about these flashlights. So, they both have this cap with a rubber gasket in there to make it waterproof. I'm not sure why. I don't assume that these are waterproof at all. Just because you look in there, it just doesn't seem like you should be getting it wet. It has cooling fans. This one has 2. This one has 3 cooling fans. It kind of sounds like a hair dryer as you're walking around with it. This one came with this nifty handle. It also came with this strap that you can put over your shoulder. But the thing is, on this other one, see, it has a place for it here and on the cap. This one, you could put it on the cap, but literally, where is it supposed to go? I'm looking at pictures of it, and everyone's using the handle. Where is it possibly supposed to go, except maybe I could hook it on this somehow. I'd have to get one of these rings somehow. I don't see anywhere you could possibly put something like that, but it's fully charged now, so we're going to take it outside. This is a big improvement too. USBC makes the job a lot easier. You saw in the basement I was just mentioning those those horrible chargers, I should say, I was just mentioning. This came with the biggest USB-C charger I've ever seen. It's so powerful. I just had to test it. Now, maybe someone in my comments could tell me, will this thing wreck a phone, it being a 100-watt charger? It charges this flashlight super fast. I plugged it into my phone. From 30%, it said it would charge in 20 minutes, which is insanely fast. If I bought more of these chargers intended for the flashlight, would it hurt the phone? Would they really make a product that's like universal but would hurt other devices? I don't know. But that would be cool to have more chargers that charge that fast. While the other one has this box right here, you see, all one piece. Plug that back in, it's still charging. It's actually quite hot. And you see how that plugs in here? I just ordered a new one of these chargers because you see it's starting to fray, it's starting to get weak. Yes, I can fix that, but I want something that's strong and reliable. So we plug that in here. It's red and it turns green when it's ready. This one has a much cooler indicating light. The other one just has a little dot. That's kind of cool. So, in the meantime, I tried to be cheap, so I bought this, a universal charger. All these tons of little chargers. I found one that fit perfectly, but it would not charge it at all. And the voltage seemed to be correct. Same voltage that this one says. I ordered this one in, but nope. This aftermarket one would not work, so I had to reach out to the company and get another one of theirs. The price wasn't that bad. It's almost the same price as this, but at the same time, they're back ordered. It's not going to show up for quite a bit. So we're going to compare these two outside. So this one has a button. You double click it for 100,000 lumens. Then you click it one button at a time. Anywhere from 700 lumens, which can go, it says 40 hours. Then you get like a whole bunch of different settings going up to 60,000 lumens. And then it has a little screen right here which tells you what you're on. Doesn't say the battery level, which is unfortunate. I hope the new model, they thought to put in the battery level. That would be helpful. So we haven't even turned this thing on yet. We just charged it. It has a button here and a button here. See that? For the first time, we're going to peel this off. Now, I don't think these are waterproof, even though they have gaskets and things. And I'm going to say why. This one I've walked around with in the rain, and ever since, it will get a teeny little bit of fog inside the lens, even with it that hot. It never seems to go away. Not a big deal, doesn't affect the performance, but I'm just saying I don't think they're actually waterproof. Can't wait to go out in the woods right now and give this gigantic one a try. They're absolutely awesome. Because of the charger issue, I got to admit, this thing is frayed. It is. I actually lost this one for a while. That's why I bought this. Then I found this just now, but I still wanted to order another because it's frayed. This we did not bring in the last camping video. I'm not going to spoil what that video is, but you'll hear me in that video say that this was out of service because I couldn't find the charger. Or maybe I told you it was broken, which both are kind of true. Well, we didn't have this. It would have been awesome for our last camp. It was such a cool place. We did, however, have the MoonBeam flashlight, so we were able to shine out some pretty bright lights. But this will be awesome for exploring in the future. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention to everyone, the Amazon reviews really kind of made me sad about this light because I know they were all lies and they were all comments made by people that are Karens. First off, it mentions right in the description what it weighs. It mentions that it's all metal. I personally like the heavy feel. It doesn't bother me carrying it around. This is a little bit heavier than that one, obviously. The cool thing is this one here, they say on low can go 300 hours. They advertise instead of 40 like this one. This one can also, they say, go a couple of hours on high instead of just 30 minutes with this one. They improved it, gave it a better type of battery, all that kind of stuff. Another kind of review that really made me upset was people complaining that it doesn't last long enough. And their negative comment literally said how long they tested it and how long it lasted for them. But the time it lasted for them, they claim, matches exactly what the description from the manufacturer said it would do. So how can they be mad at it doing what it was advertised for? So anytime you see a product that's technical or something like this, really read into the descriptions and you'll find a lot of BS, things that just aren't true. You can see comments that are made by stupid people. Just because something doesn't have the best reviews doesn't mean the most knowledgeable people were actually making those reviews. Yep. But all the complaints are nothing that I'm really worried about one bit. So we're going to go test this thing out and see how it does. Just like when I walk around with this one here, the majority of the time I'm walking around with this one on 10,000 lumen settings. It's enough to really nicely show you through abandoned buildings. I choose 10,000 because that's the lowest setting this can operate without the annoying, loud, hairdryer sounding cooling fans running. And yeah, I'm okay with it. 10,000 lumens is awesome, but every now and then you want to light up an entire baseball field or abandoned building courtyard when you're there at night. And that's what this thing is awesome for, when you double click and it just lights up the whole area like a massive floodlight. And that's why I bought this one. I likely won't use it on more than 10,000 lumens just walking through the woods, but every now and then this thing will shine down your entire road, which is awesome. We got to go outside and give this a try now. All right, everyone, we're outside in my yard, a good area to try it out. Here's the old one. This is the 100,000 lumen flashlight. This is 700 watts, which it claims can be on for like 2 days straight, this low beam. which is still pretty bright. Click it again. Wait. That is 2,000 lumens, it says on the screen. See down here on the screen? That says where it is. And now that is 5,000. Wait a second. We got to wait for that to change. It's telling me the voltage of the battery. Yep, that's 5,000. 10,000. This is the brightest you can walk around with without the cooling fan kicking in. Still plenty bright to be in an abandoned building or going for a walk. Still will generate some heat, which is awesome on a cold day. This whole thing gets hot enough to burn you on the front. Even the handle gets warm walking around with it. Now, here we go again. 22,000. And now the fan's about to kick in any moment. It's chilly out. We're actually supposed to get our first frost tonight. Because it's chilly out, the cooling fan isn't probably going to kick on right away like it does in warmer weather. All right, here we go again. 30,000. 60,000 lumens. And now if we double click, 100,000 lumen flashlight. That is incredible. And that noise doesn't bother me, but some people in my comments, the majority don't, just a few, they don't like that sound of a hairdryer and they ask, what is that? Make that noise go away. Boom. Now let's figure out how to get that other one to turn on. It's so convenient having this strap so you have two hands free when you're walking around. So we got to figure out how to get the other one to fit properly. So it's got two buttons. Let's figure out how to get this to work. Got to hold it. It's not doing anything. Let's try holding the other one. Nothing. Double click. Double click. I've never turned this one on before. I'm trying to do it live. Holding it. Maybe there's a combination of buttons I'm going to have to hit. Because something this bright, if this is like in your suitcase and it accidentally turns on, it's going to start a fire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, I got to look up how to turn this thing on. Back to the kitchen. Came with this. Gaskets. I figured out how to get this, it's slightly offset. So the handle, I guess, doesn't bump in you. So this is going to be on my right shoulder, and you see the handle sticking out, so it's not against me. So I figured out where that thing, I think, is supposed to go. But this thing has no instructions, and nowhere on the internet that I can find shows you how to turn it on, and I still haven't yet figured it out. I've been really messing with these buttons. It came with no instructions. And it's nothing like the older model. It does not turn on like the old one. So, the research continues. All right, everyone. I just learned something. And I just went through and I read all the instructions. They're all on Amazon. And it's really cool, actually. I'm going to show you a few screenshots like right here. This is showing you the runtime. That's kind of cool. This thing has a setting. It's so big, it has a setting that's 80. Just 80. That's awesome. Then it has what they consider low is 2,000. So this one doesn't have the 700 watt setting, but it has 80, which is just a little nightlight. That's how it actually gets to be 345 hours of runtime. That's how. So just looking at the description of Amazon, it taught me. The other one didn't have this. It has this little thing you got to pull out between the battery and the terminal. So now it should work exactly the same as my other one pretty much, except this one has two buttons, so we got to mess around with it. Now it should work, and I learned something cool that both of these have, so if there's a little kid or someone that might turn it on and burn the house down, because these things will make paper smoke. They're very powerful lights. Super duper powerful. It has this. Look down in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's locked. A little kid or some random person without the instructions isn't going to know how to turn this thing on now. It's also good in a suitcase because it's not going to get pushed 5 times fast. It will never turn on and start a fire. I didn't even know the old one had that. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it's unlocked and it will turn on. That's pretty cool. So this new one should come locked, it says. All right, now I have both of these things over my shoulders. And I can see how this would bother some people, but to me, the extra weight doesn't really bother me at all. In fact, I'll even bring these things backpacking. Let's see if it turns on. Oh, it's on. And the little display is on. So that's 800 lumens. It's like a little nightlight. Look at that. It's barely projecting a beam. I guess that's good in a tent. I think it'll last you weeks if it actually goes 300 hours. All right, let's go up. Okay, we got to figure out how to run it. 2,000. Yes, it does not have 700. It just skips to 2,000. Now it has 4,000. So the intervals of this one are a bit different. The other one has 5,000. This has 4,000. Now is it going to go to 8 or 12 or maybe 10? Let's see. 9. Didn't expect that random number. 9,000. And now we get 18,000. And now we get 40,000. Oh my gosh, I'm happy about this. Wait for the stupid traffic on the highway to go by. My viewers are gonna love this when I'm in abandoned buildings now. Listen to the cooling fans. This one has 3 of them instead of 2 of them, and doesn't sound like a hairdryer. The old one sounded like a hairdryer out of the box. They're ultra quiet in the new one. I can't even hear it. It's like as quiet as the fan in a computer tower. It's so quiet. I'm so happy about that. I can barely hear it. Nice. Up more. 90,000 lumens. So this is basically walking around with the other one now. 90,000 lumens. And I'm gonna have to look at that chart again. How long is this gonna last me? Now we'll go up again. It will not go any higher than 90, it seems. Now we have to double press for the 200,000, just like the other, I'm guessing. 200,000 lumens. Yes, that is a lot brighter. Look at that. It's so bright, it's overexposing those trees that are probably a good 70 feet away from me. And it's so quiet. I love this. How hot is it getting? Wow, that is burning hot. If I put a piece of paper in front of it, it would be smoking. Look at the little particles going around. And it's so quiet compared to the other one. This is awesome. And guess what? I have great news. I'm going to try to get this video up as fast as possible. And what I mean is I'll get this thing up publicly in like a day. So this thing, okay, first I'm going to start off. I'm going to dim this one a little bit. Off. Moonlight. We need a little brighter. Let's walk around with it on like 18. Is that enough for the cooling fan? I'm not sure when the cooling fan on the big one turns on. Doesn't appear to have the cooling fan for 18,000. So this one allows me to walk around a little bit brighter than the other without the cooling fan. So what I wanted to say to everyone is this big one here a year ago cost me just over 700 bucks. And I was hesitant to buy it. That thing was expensive. Very expensive flashlight. But it worked out. It's probably made me money by making my videos a lot better. And now this new one I bought for the same price years later, and it's twice as big. Also 700 bucks. It's because as these become more popular, their price is able to go down because production is up so much. So now the regular price of this giant flashlight is the old price of the other one. And I'm sure the other one has gone down in price. I just went on Amazon. And I'm kind of sad. I ordered this last week for 700 bucks. Now, it's $150 cheaper. It's a Amazon special sale on it. And I think I'm going to go buy a second one and give it to my girlfriend for Christmas. While it's cheap, I think I better go buy a second one for a present. If I ask her if she wants it, she'll say no, so I'm just going to go ahead and buy it. Or she'll tell me to give her the old one because she doesn't need it or something. She'll feel bad accepting it, so I'm just going to go ahead and buy it. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and buy another one before that sale ends. Amazon doesn't say when the sale is going to end on that item for whatever reason, but I definitely want to go get a different one. And these things seem to have longevity based on the reviews. They seem to last many years as long as you take care of it and don't drop it in the mud go out in the rain where things are going to get into those cooling fans and cause them to not work or something, or cause it to overheat. For example, don't walk around with it on 200,000 lumens all the time, because that might wear things out faster with all that heat. So, look, I don't have it on nearly as high as it goes, and it's an awesome flashlight for walking around in the woods. I haven't been out of my woods, and I've been away for a little bit. So, we'll check our trail cameras out here tomorrow, but I put a whole bunch of jack-o'-lanterns out here in front of a trail camera, hoping something would go after them. I see holes everywhere. That's probably turkeys digging and looking for stuff. But who ripped open my pumpkin? What happened to it? What? It looks like it was dragged by a car. How did half of it just get scraped away, or is that just rot? Oh my gosh. Look at the mold growing in them too. Something destroyed the jack-o'-lanterns. Was it a bear? Something exciting? I don't know. But these things have been out here for weeks, and the only thing going to them has been raccoons. I've been putting food in them and putting the covers back on, but now they're just rotten and destroyed from animals. But I hope this video of these flashlights was interesting, and these things seem like they'll last a very long time. This flashlight is like walking around with an off-road light. See, that's anytime I can quickly just double tap. It's so quiet compared to the other one's cooling fan. That's 200,000. Off, back on. Now what does the second button do? Off, on. Okay, it's two buttons that seem to do exactly the same thing. I guess whatever one's more convenient for you to hit. That's what I guess it is. So off. Now we're all alone in the dark, scary woods. Now the other one. Still an awesome flashlight. Double click. 100,000 lumens right now. Its cooling fan's not turning on because it's cold out. Oh, there it goes. Listen, considerably louder. Now the other one. Wow, 200,000. Off. Yeah, after using the 200,000, this other one on high, you can definitely see the difference. After using the new one, the old one doesn't seem nearly as bright anymore. Look at that. 100,000. Dark. 200,000. Yes, you can clearly see the difference, and I'm so happy that the new one is... Wait, what am I doing? Wait. Now I see what I did wrong. 200,000. And I want to one click. There we go. I'll get the hang of it. The controls are exactly the same as the other one, which I'm already used to, which is very handy. And this new one has the USBC and everything, and makes it way easier if you lose the charger. Of course, a regular phone charger that's not as powerful, it's going to take a lot longer than it advertises 2 hours from empty to get this thing full. Obviously, your phone charger will do it. It's just going to take longer, but that's convenient in case you lose it. Very convenient. And I'm happy about that. So... these lights I give a positive review to. They're awesome, these bright lights. And it's definitely worth it for the $500. This thing has an awesome sale going on at the moment, so I gotta get another one. Great sale. Just gotta remember how to take care of these things nicely. And I like how it has the lockout button. I haven't even been running it long, and I can actually burn myself on the lens. You can also burn and melt your clothing, so if you're running it for a while, don't be having it like I have it. I haven't been running it that long, but you can damage things. This thing gets so hot. Just like if you go back into your car after running it, make sure you have something like a pot holder to put it on, because you'll burn your seat. Well, I hope today's video was interesting, everybody. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Who could tell I was pretty tired at the beginning of the video, and now that I'm up and walking in the woods, I kind of woke up It's late at night. I chose to do this. I like walking through the woods late at night. Okay, here's the new flashlight. I know for a fact this one's never got wet. I guess that's just a normal thing with these lights. There's a little bit of moisture in there, and I guess that's just normal. But it doesn't affect it. The other lights had that for the past year. Just keep in mind, I guess that's normal.